Today, we're going to dive into a really ancient poem, Psalm 20, that asks a pretty brutal question. When everything is on the line, what do you really trust? Let's get into it. No, seriously, think about it for a second. When a real crisis hits, what's your gut reaction? Where do you turn? Your skills, your bank account, the people you know. Well, this poem is here to challenge that exact instinct. So the poem just drops us right into the middle of a crisis. We don't know exactly what it is. Could be a war on the horizon, maybe some kind of political disaster, but you can feel the tension. And this isn't one person's private worry, it's a whole community's plea, and it's all focused on their leader. Now notice how this thing starts. It's not with some big boast or a loud war cry. It's a prayer, a collective hope. In the middle of their trouble, the very first instinct this community has is to look up and ask a higher power to protect their leader. Okay, so if they're not putting their faith in their own strength, where are they looking for help? The text is super clear about this. The aid they're asking for isn't going to come from an armory or a military base. It's coming from somewhere else entirely. Look at where the help comes from. The sanctuary, Jerusalem, these are places of worship. And the gifts and offerings, those are acts of faith. The message here is crystal clear. They believe their real strength comes from their connection to the divine, not from whatever weapons they might have. And now the prayer gets really specific, zeroing in on this leader, the anointed king. You have to remember, back then, the king's fate was the nation's fate. If he fails, everybody suffers. So this prayer isn't just a nice thought, it carries the weight of everyone's survival. And just listen to what they're asking for. They're not just praying to squeak by or barely survive. Nope. They're praying for total, absolute success. Grant your heart's desires, make all your plans succeed. They're basically asking for their leader's entire vision to come true flawlessly. And this brings us to the absolute heart of the poem. It sets up this incredibly stark contrast between two totally different sources of power, two different places to put your confidence. It boils down to a fundamental choice. What are you going to boast in? And here it is, laid out side by side. On one side, you've got chariots and horses. In the ancient world, this was the equivalent of stealth bombers and aircraft carriers. It was the peak of military tech. It represented human power, money, and raw force. And on the other side, the name of the Lord our God, something you can't see, you can't touch. It's a choice between visible human might and invisible divine faith. And the poem doesn't mess around with the consequences. It lays it out with brutal clarity. Those who trust in chariots, in human power alone, they will fall down and collapse. End of story. But those who put their trust in their faith, they will rise up and stand firm. The argument is basically that relying only on human power will eventually fail you, but faith offers a stability that lasts. So after making this choice, the entire vibe of the poem just shifts. It moves on from that hopeful prayer at the beginning, may he answer you, and it transforms into this powerful, confident, almost triumphant declaration of victory. This is the line. This is the pivot point for the whole poem. Did you catch the change? It's not may the Lord answer anymore, it's now I know. That's a huge leap from just hoping for something to being absolutely certain of it. It's like their faith just clicked into place. And what's the result of that certainty? This amazing image, raising a victory banner. Think about it. You don't hide a banner. It's a public, loud, and joyful statement. And notice what they say. They're going to raise it in the name of our God. They are making it clear to everyone where their victory came from, even before the battle is officially won. It's like a celebration in advance, all built on faith. The poem wraps up with one last cry, but the tone is completely different now. This isn't that nervous plea from the beginning. This is a command, a call to action that comes from a place of pure confidence. Give victory. It's the only possible ending after their journey from fear to faith to rock-solid certainty. So the poem kind of throws the question back at us, doesn't it? The chariots and horses of the ancient world are gone, but we all have our modern versions. Our technology, our careers, our money, our plans. This ancient text is asking us to be really honest with ourselves. When a real crisis hits, what banner are you truly raising?